Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bella Baby and I have a juicy, exciting story for you guys, so keep on watching. Now before I jump right into the video, I do want to say I posted on my Snapchat last night that I had some new hair that I was gonna wear in this video, and I did. That was the case, but it's so fresh and so like silky still that it just gets in my face. It already fucked up my lipstick because my lipstick wasn't dry, which I should have let it dry, but I didn't, and it's just all over the place and annoying and really heavy. It's a lot of hair, so yes. So by the title of this video, you guys can tell that this video is going to be a gone wrong video, but dating edition. So yeah, so it's a Tinder date that has gone wrong / relationship, because I did date this guy for a while. So grab your popcorn or whatever you need to do to sit back and relax and enjoy this video. Disclaimer, I don't actually go to Lehigh University. I just have one of these from something. Maybe I should change, maybe not. Okay, so our video starts off way back. This story is taking place probably almost a year ago, and I was on Tinder and still currently on Tinder. But yeah, so it was about a year ago. I met this guy and we we matched on Tinder or whatever, so we decided to talk. Things were going pretty smooth when we were talking. We were just like talking about, like, you know, basic things like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, like da da da, like, you know, just like simple romantic stuff. So it turns out, like, a few days later, you know, he couldn't. So okay guys, I'm gonna say, we're not gonna say his name, we're gonna call him, like, let's call him Max. And Max is from Arizona originally. Like, he lives down there, but he is up here like a lot to see his sister, because his sister lives up here where, like, in my area. So a few days into the relationship, we wanted to meet. Like, we wanted, you know, I think it was time to meet. We've been talking for a while online, so why not go and actually out in the world and meet somewhere. Personally, if I ever am interested in somebody, like, where I usually want to go is I want to go on like hikes or some nature type thing. I just love nature so much that it's just perfect. Like, I love nature, so it's just so romantic to me personally, which is not everybody's first thing. So, but most of the guys who I have talked to in the past have said, you know, they don't mind going on a hike or whatever the situation might be. So he was telling me he had like 3 or 4 more weeks up here before he goes back to Arizona for 2 months, and he'll come back up here. He didn't have a car, so he would be borrowing his sister's car, and I don't drive, so that was gonna be my only option. So it was a Thursday night, and I was at the club with my friends, and the club got out about like 2 in the morning. I know, early club, but it got out early, and I was like, I hit him up and I was like, hey, why don't we go hang? Like, let's just hang. Now, he is a heavy like drinker and smoker, so he was kind of drunk or high on the phone, whatever, which one. But he was like, you know, I'm really tired, we could do this tomorrow. I was like, well, I'm right by your place, I can just swing by really quick, you know, at least just formally introduce myself. Like, I know we've been talking online, but we can like legit talk like there, so it would have been easier. I think he got like super mad at me at one point just because I kept blowing up and I was like, hello, you still there? Like, he obviously didn't fall asleep and he was just playing his little games, because I know how people play nowadays. But he was just like really annoying. So that was my first chance I was gonna meet him. Okay, so I think like a week later, we're still talking. This story is like such a blur, but I'm trying to get like the main juicy things. We're still talking. Okay, so then I go out, like, it's nighttime, with my best friend again and my other best friend, but I don't remember what we were doing. I know it was like late and we were driving someone somewhere, and we were pulling up, and I was like, hey, can I pull up? He said yes. So I was like, great, perfect, this is my first time. Now mind you, I had no makeup on. I was in sweatpants and a t-shirt. Oh, I got a stain. I was in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and I would never want to meet a guy, like, never want to meet like anybody first impressions without makeup or a sweatshirt. But I was just like, screw it. So we were pulling up. I start to get really nervous. I'm like, hey, I don't think we should do this, I'm really scared. I'm like super nervous. I don't know how things are gonna go and everything. But We get to the house, we pull up like on the side, we park, and I'm like, hey, we're here. Like I'm texting him. So I get out the car and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the bathroom. Like I need to like I need to relieve my stress. Like my body was just like too nervous for this moment right now. So he comes out of the house and comes like right over to me. Like he comes right over, gives me a huge hug, and he didn't look at me. I don't think I looked at him. Well, I looked at him in the eyes, but I don't think he looked at me like back. I don't remember. But it was like really awkward. But he was like, I'm a hugger, like don't mind me. So he hugged my friends too. I was like, okay, whatever, cute. So I was like, I have to use the bathroom. He was like, you can't come in my house. And I was like, I need to like for a second. He was like, oh, we can go chill at the park down at the end of the street or whatever. And I was like, I think it was late. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, what? You're making me like what? Like it was cold but not cold. I think it was fall at the time actually. Yeah, I think it was fall. And I was just like, okay, like, you know, I was just going with the flow, whatever. If I can't go in his house, but I was like, listen, I need to use the bathroom. He was like, whatever, you can just go and use the bathroom really quick. So I went in there, I met his like sister, his like baby brother, his dog was so cute. And then my other friend used the bathroom as well. But then we went outside and got in the car. So this is where things start to get a little juicy. So I sat in the back with him. My friend at the time had a buggy, a blue buggy, and for anybody who doesn't know like what a buggy is, well, everybody knows what a buggy is, but like if you haven't been in a buggy before, you know how tiny, well, if you have, sorry, you know how tiny and cramped a buggy is. Okay, so you know that there's 3 seats in the back and there's 2 seats in the front, but there's no double doors, so you have to crawl. It's annoying. It's just really, really annoying. So my 2 friends sat in the front. My friend was driving, my other friend was in the front, and I sat in the back with him. So I started asking him questions. I was like, oh, where are you from? Like in Arizona, like what's good or whatever. So I get on my phone, I go on maps, and he puts his hand on my thigh and like kind of starts to go inwards. And I was like, oh, we just met for like 30 seconds, like, and you're already like wanting to do stuff. Now I'm all fine for doing things like that. Like I honestly don't care, but you could have texted me that you wanted to do that before, so I could have been a little more prepared what I was getting myself into instead of just going for it. But I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna go with the flow, do what he's doing. So we were talking about where he was, but it was like really awkward. I was like, I don't know, I was a little seduced, a little bit. Like I was just like, okay, so this guy wants to, you know, do stuff with me in the back of the car with my friends in the front. Like let's not, like, let's just keep it to maybe a little bit touching for now. We get to the front of the, like, we get to the park and we park and we get out, and I'm with my friend. I think my other friend and him were in the car really quickly. I think they were just like packing up or something, but me and my other friend were going over to like the park area to like check it out a little bit, and they were gonna meet us there or whatever. So I was like, oh my god, I have to pee. I'm so nervous. And I peed in the middle of the park. Like I was like so scared. I've never been nervous to meet a guy. Like no, like it's just not me. But this guy was like making me nervous. He was like super everything. He was his body, like he was just say he was perfect. So he comes over, we're chilling on like the jungle gym type area looking thing. I'm not really sure like what it was called or whatever, but he was on top, and it's like really awkward. Like all of us are just literally standing there and we're not really saying anything to each other. Oh, my eyes are good. By the way, guys, these are not contacts, these are my actual eyes. Anyways, we weren't really saying anything to each other. I was like going to my friend, I was like, what should I say to him? Like, what should I do? So it turns out my other friend was talking to him, telling him to like make moves on me, like go whatever. So he gets down, he like puts his hand around my waist, and he's like, walk with me, we can talk and chat a little bit. I was like, okay. My friends totally, I think, had a little bit to do with this because they walked off. They literally walked off, and I was like, great, I'm with this guy alone, anything can happen. And I was like really nervous and scared. I had no makeup on. I was really hesitant to look at him because I just feel, you know, at that time I was still insecure a lot, like without makeup on, and I wouldn't really go anywhere, but I was just like, screw it. And I told him that, and he was like, you know, you look fine. He was like, I'm not. He was like, you know, I've seen you without makeup. Most girls, it takes like months to see them without makeup, but you, I just seen without makeup. So I was like, okay, cute. So then he kisses me. Okay. So we started doing a little makeup session in the middle of a ball field. There's a house like right there, and I was like, I hope they don't see us. Some of the lights were on, but when you look outside in the dark, you can't really see, or yeah, and then when you outside, you can see inside. But I was like, okay, so it started getting a little bit freaky, like frisky. So I didn't want things to go too far, so I like stopped. kissing him, and I just started walking with him. I held his hand and we just started walking around talking, you know, getting to know each other a little bit better and stuff like that. Then we like made this circle around the thing, and we came across this set of bleachers, and on the bleachers, we went to the top row. We're standing up, we were walking up there, and now like there's no handles on these bleachers, which is like really, really weird. Like, doesn't make sense. But then we started making out again, and like, you know how I think I was on the bottom bleachers, you know, on the top one, so like he had to like look down a little bit. But I going through my head was like, what if we fall back? Like that's I wouldn't know what to do. And I was like, maybe we should just go down a little bit. So my friend texts me, and they're like, we're going to Wawa. We're going to walk over to Wawa. Because Wawa wasn't far from the house. So they were just like, we're just going to walk over to Wawa. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. But low-key inside, I was like, no, don't leave me. Like, I don't be left with you with this guy. I don't want to have sex in the middle of a park, first of all, on the floor, wherever, the grass, wherever he was planning on doing it. Okay, so then I'm trying to like picture, it was so long ago, but I just remember. Okay, so then I do remember like leaving the park. Like after that, we were just like talking, and he was like, I was thinking about having sex on the bleachers, and I was like, I think I said I was too, but low-key I wasn't. I was low-key, what was going on in my mind was freaking falling off and breaking my neck. But turns out my friends were never at Wawa. They were inside their car, and I was just like, I gotta go. We can definitely meet up like again. I wasn't pushing him off. It was just getting late and we were hungry, so we went to go eat Waffle House. But I think I didn't really want to like have sex with him the first time I met him. Kissing and touching was like fine for me, but I was just like, I didn't want to make it go any further. So I get in the car. Well, first I say goodbye to him. I give him a big hug, and you know, I kiss him, whatever. Like I say my goodbyes, they say their goodbyes, and I freak out in the car. I was like, oh my gosh, he's so perfect. I was like, I did good. Like this is probably like the best man I've ever picked. Like he was perfect. He was tall. He was like everything that I could have dreamed of having. Okay, flash forward to a few days later. It went back to texting. You know, we we're still trying to plan things, but his sister got in a car accident like a few days later, so we didn't really have a car, and we had his brother's car, and him and his brother would go out and do stuff, which every single time I usually called him, he was with his brother doing something, and I was just like, hey, can't you ask your brother to drop you off at my house? You know, we can, or I can get a ride up to wherever we want to go or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna ask. He was like, how would I get home? I was like, can't you ask your brother to come pick you up, or Uber or something like that? It just kept not working out, and it wasn't like he didn't want to see me and I didn't really want to see him. It was just things weren't really working out. So about a week later, this is where it gets really, really crazy, and it was to the point where I needed to leave him. So he started to become like obsessed with me. Like he started calling me like really often, and definitely at times where I couldn't really take calls. He would get mad at me for not answering the calls. He would always wonder what I'm doing. He would hit my friends up to see what I was doing, just to make sure that I was doing what I said I was doing. Almost dropped the remote. I started questioning him a lot, like, if you really want to see me, you're really so worried about me, why can't you find a way up to see me? He always had some excuse, and I was just like, okay, whatever. So I was just like, maybe this isn't gonna work. He was like, and then he starts freaking out. He was like, no, we're gonna make this work. Like, this is gonna work out. I promise you, I'll make it work. I'll find things. I was like, but it gets like, it's a lot more dramatic than that, but I just want to keep it simple, you know, just for like, just in case like someone watches this. So then, one night I was going up to pick up my best friend with my other best friend, and I get a text from him saying, look what you made me do, or something. It was something along those lines, and it was a picture of slash marks on his like leg, his thigh, like it looks like something cut him or something like that. And I was like, what happened? Are you okay? I was like, me, like, what did I do? He was like, you made me cut myself. Now, before I go on with the story, I do want to say, if you are, or anybody are in any type of abusive relationship, there are so many ways to get out of it. I know it seems so hard, but if a guy or anything, guy, girl, whatever, is trying to manipulate you into staying in a relationship, make it seem like yours fault, or if you don't do this, I'm going to do this, like, it's not, get yourself out. Whatever they do is their decision, and it's not your fault. You can't control, or you can't predict, or whatever. You can't help that situation. So you have to let it go, and you have to leave them. Okay, before I keep going, I forgot to mention a huge thing. Okay, so I was at my friend's house and he texts me saying, oh, remember that night we met or whatever? Your friend in the car was asking me to, like, you know, like whatever they, I know what you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so he was saying like your friend wanted me to suck, like he wanted to suck my friend, or no, my friend wanted to suck him there. And saying all this stuff like, let's just do it really quickly, da 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 da. And I was like, and I didn't believe him just because I know my best friend would never do that. I know we're both crazy hoes at the end of the day, but there's one thing, we don't take each other's mans unless we like give it, it's weird. It's just like if we're going for the same guy, we're weird. And he was telling me all this stuff, like what they were saying and everything to him, and I was just like, you're literally fucking crazy. Like, because at this point it was like another time where I was like, maybe I should leave, like you're getting a little too obsessive. And he was like trying to expose my friend, like break up my friendship with my friends so then I would be with him. He was a nutcase. Okay, anyways, back to like the parking lot store. Okay, so we're at the friends, picking up my friend and everything, and he sends me the pictures, and I was just like, listen, you're crazy. He was like, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, he was saying all this crazy stuff, and I was like, whatever you do is not my fault. Like, you just became too obsessive, and you always had an excuse not to see me, and it was just never working out. Like, move on. Like, it's just, I'll move on. Like, I'll find another person. Like, it just wasn't working out. Like, we can be friends at the end of the day, but like we can't take it further than that just because we can't see each other as much as we want to. So my best friend was in the car, and I was showing him everything that was happening, and I was just like, you know what, I think I just have to block him. So I blocked him on everything. The only thing I didn't block him on was Instagram. That's what it was, Instagram. And then he DMs my friend and is going off on a rampage, like, you know, tell the truth, like da da da. At this point is like trying to expose him all over again, and it's just trying to like end stuff, and they're going at it like literally like I was like, at this point I was just like, I want to fight you because I can't, you're just so stupid, and leave me alone, like too crazy. So I block him on Instagram, block him on everything, and it was basically like the end. Like, that was the end of the situation. So I kind of left, and then I was a few weeks later, I think it was a few months later actually, I unblocked him. Actually, I think I bought Tinder Gold at this point, so I saw him that he liked me again, which is weird. Sometimes in Tinder they will like the same person. It's like you'll get the same person around even after you like them or you unmatch with them. They'll still come up like as a thing if they're still in your area. And we matched again. I was like, hey, how are you doing? Like, how is everything? And it was just basically mutual. I was just like, you know, he's doing better. He's back in Arizona at this point, so I was just really happy for him. And yeah. But anyway, guys, that's the end of my story. That was the most craziest Tinder situation. I want to do more Tinder stories because I'm obsessed with Tinder, and I see a lot of people from Tinder, and I have a lot of crazy stories from Tinder. But I want to tell you guys some more stories. But that one just really stuck with me because that was like my first real like person I met off Tinder, like really met like and wanted like official with them. So yeah. But if you did enjoy this video, give it a giant thumbs up. Comment below your worst story, your Tinder story, death trap / boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever situation may be. Also too, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos. I want to try to be more uploading and stuff like that. But yeah. Bye guys, I love you.